And it's just internet. It's the internet
Yeah,
that does
yeah.
everything, bro.
No, it's good, man. It's good. Like I said, it's motivational because I've been wanting to
Yeah.
start a YouTube for a long time. I've been wanting to start a dang whatchamacallit for a long time, but no, but it's motivational to see you come up and see, interviewing all these guys and stuff like that. I just want to get on and support, man. That's it. I just want to
Appreciate it,
support,
brother.
bro. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, you say why Oos, man? You might as well be damn Oos. You know what I'm saying? Like that's for real.
Live on TikTok, streaming all the way. YouTube, Facebook, we're here to stay. Tales of the hustle, dreams come alive. Building the future, watch them strive. Why use? Why use? Tune in and vibe the drive. Why use? Why use? Tune in and vibe the drive.
Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the Why Oos podcast. Today's guest, as y'all see here, man, is a father, a veteran, a proud Samoan and Black American. But he also is a motivational content creator with over, I want to say about 90,000 followers and 1.5 million likes on TikTok. His journey of self-growth, fitness, and jiu-jitsu has resonated with people from all walks of life, especially those seeking to find balances between physical strength and mental toughness. Marques shares his personal experience on fatherhood, building confidence, and motivating others to rise above their life challenges. His wisdom spans across generations as he encourages young people to tap into their potential, while also inspiring those in their 40s, like myself, to keep pushing towards greatness. So today we're going to dive into his story, his journey in martial arts, and what keeps him going as a creator who continues to shape and inspire the future generations of the Oos, baby. Let's get it into it, bro. Welcome to the podcast, Oos.
Let's go. Thanks, my man. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it, man.
Hey, man, you're welcome, man. So I know you're a busy man, bro. So we're going to jump right to it so that way the audience of Why Oos, the coconuts, you know what I'm saying, can get information and knowledge and just to get to know who Marques is. So let's go right to it, man. How has Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu influenced your mindset and your approach to fatherhood, Uso?
Oh, huge, man. We went right into it, man. I tell you what, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, combat arts, we saw more, you know what I'm saying? We saw more people. And a little bit about myself, man. I grew up in a predominantly Samoan household. Yes, I'm Afghasi. Yes, my dad is from Georgia, but my mom's was hard. You know what I'm saying? Mom's is always the hard one. Mom's is always the one that sets you up and, gets you going. And so like with that, my mom's was in the military. You know what I'm saying? She was in the military. And I tell you right now, like I always wanted to be a boxer. I grew up watching the Olympics and stuff like that. But, after being in the military brat for so long, and having to move to all different places and meet all your cousins that are bigger than you, I was forced. I was forced to start, defending myself and protecting others and stuff like that. And so Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was an afterthought, to be honest with you. It was an afterthought because, everybody, I wanted to be like David Tua, a little bit of Mike Tyson and, Roy Jones Jr., And so those are my idols growing up, was all the boxers. You know what I'm saying? And so like, your boy, we got hands and, I don't know what it is, man. It just, I fell in love with boxing. I fell in love with combat. And so, yeah, that's what started it off. And, the Samoan power, man, when I started, tagging people, I was knocking people out and everything was good. You know what I'm saying? Everything was good, bro. And then, but I started to realize why I started asking myself, why am I fighting? You know what I'm saying? Why am I fighting? So, and I'm only telling that's only one part of the story. But the story was Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Like people kept taking me down in MMA. They kept taking me down because they didn't want to get punched in the face. And I couldn't get back up. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't get back
from Mark Hunt, bro. I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Bam Bam, man. As soon as you take him down, bro, it's over.
It's over. Game over, man. You know what I'm saying? Get up, man. Get up. But no, man. And it's just one of those things where, so for me, I use that in life, and so again, I'm not going to touch on, I might touch on a little bit, some of the PTSD, you know what I'm saying? PTSD that we get as kids and stuff like that. But you know, like when life knocks you down, bro, when life knocks you down, is how you gonna get back up? You know what I'm saying? What are you gonna do to get back up? And so people kept taking me down. I got fed up with it. I got tired of it. And so then I found Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And honestly, the way that that helps me in life is there's so many things that, you know, you can relate to Jiu-Jitsu. So many times where you got somebody that's holding you down, and you got to find a way to get back up. And, you know, you solve that problem, and then here goes another problem. You solve that problem. I love it, bro. I love it.
So is it almost similar to like the yin and the yang from like Kung Fu or karate, wherever that came from?
I would say yes, without all the, you know, without all the little,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the little, just the little intrinsic things that come with other martial arts. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, you know, we call it the yin, and, you know, you did the yin, and then you did the yang, or you did the zig, and he did the zag. You know what I mean? Jiu-Jitsu presents a lot of questions, right? It forces you to problem solve, right? So the first question is, you know, like every 90% of the fights end up on the ground. Would you agree?
Yes.
So if 90% of fights end up on the ground, the first question you got to ask is, do I want to stand back up, or do I want to keep it on the ground? So that's the first question. You're presented with the first problem. Well, if you want to stand back up, then you get back to your hands. But if you want to stay on the ground, is your wrestling good? Where are you going to go from there? Are you going to take their back? You know, so there's a lot of different things that you get to ask, and I love it, man. I love it. Just like your questions, that you sent me, bro. Got some good questions, man.
Man, I appreciate it, brother. You've spoken about the mindset and self-improvement. What advice would you give young people struggling with self-confidence, especially those born after 2000?
Ooh, that's huge. Oh, that's huge, right? And that's huge. And so I face that a lot. And so one of my biggest things is, yeah, I'm online, giving a lot of information, give a lot of advice and stuff like that, a lot of life advice. A lot of people have called me coach and stuff like that. A lot of people call me coach over here in jiu-jitsu. I coach volleyball. I'm a health and wellness coach, you know, and so like that's huge for me. And so when it comes to these young people like born after 2000s, the biggest lesson advice that I would give you in relation to everything is to learn from other people's mistakes. And that's the one thing that I tell my kids, you know, I tell my little brothers and sisters, learn from my mistakes, man. Because I'm the oldest of 6 kids, right? And so as the oldest of 6 kids, bruh, I used to get in trouble all the time. And you talk about doing things the wrong way, that was this guy. I always did things the wrong way, but it's because I wanted to find out the answer. I didn't listen. You know, if you would have told me, if you would have told me like, hey, Marques, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't do this because of this X, Y, and Z. And I would have said, you know what? I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna try, you know, elemental P first, and then we'll see how it works. Does that make sense? So for young people, take the advice of the older people that are coming before you and learn from their mistakes, and that will expedite the successes in your life. I promise.
Nice. As a veteran, how did your military experience shape your outlook on life, and how do you use that experience to motivate others? You know, the youth.
Yeah. You know, one thing, my military experience was fun, man. It was fun. I didn't get to do everything that I wanted to do. I wanted to be a Green Beret and, you know, jump out of airplanes and stuff like that. I was an infantryman. I was a ranger in the Army and stuff like that. And that was fun. I was a recruiter in the Army too. That was fun. You know what I mean? But when I look back on my military career, there's a lot of stuff that I wanted to do. And so how it shaped my life is that, look, God has a plan for you, and it may not be what you think it is. You can sit there, you know, all of us, we try to plan out our lives and plan out our happiness and plan all this kind of stuff. But it just taught me to just go with the flow, go with the punches, right? And things may not always show up the way that they're supposed to show up, but they're going to show up how they're intended to show up. You know what I'm saying? So let me say that things may not always show up the way that you want them to show up, but they're going to show up how they were intended to show up. Make sense?
It makes sense, Uzo. It makes
Yeah,
sense,
man.
So,
And so
go ahead.
Go ahead, please.
I mean, what the hell is all the damn Samoans always joining infantry? You know what I'm saying? Was it like a?
Hey,
I know we're the same age, so we were like, is that's all we knew back then, though? You
that's
know?
all we knew. That's all we.
Man.
Hey, so hey, it's either infantry or supply, bro.
Yeah. Oh shoot, man.
Supply, man. And and it's funny though because I say, I met a lot of my homeboys, lot of Usos in the army, man, and all infantry, bro, all infantry studs, special forces, rangers, you know what I'm saying, like first sergeant majors, you know what I mean? I'm like, dang, bro. But the funny thing is, I think it's inside of us. So we're warrior people, man. We're warrior people. Samoans. I mean, it's not that we love to fight. I think it's more so because we love to protect. We love to
Yeah,
serve,
that makes
and
sense.
that's to me, and that's the biggest thing. That's why I love our culture because service. You know what I mean? Like we're
Yeah.
all about serving one, our families, two, our communities, our villages, and three, the betterment of everybody. But then you look at look at how we are, it's funny. It's like life. We bring a smile to every happy people. We bring a smile to everybody's face.
Yeah.
And and that's what I think the infantry needed. I think that's what combat arms needs. Not only this big presence that's going to make shit happen, excuse my language, but this attitude that everything can be done. And I think it stems from our base and our warrior spirit, man.
Shoot, man, that's what's up, bro. I love how you were able to represent the infantry folks because now
Let's
you're
go.
motivated. You know what I'm saying? So let's get deep into it, brother. What roles does you as a Samoan and a Black heritage play in your content? How do you balance both culture and in your teachings?
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Well, you have my boy Coconut Oos up on here, man. You had him on here, and
Yeah, yeah.
I watched that, and, but he was right, man. You know, being Afkasi, being
Yeah.
Samoan and being Black, dude, I got the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? I have the best of both worlds, boy. I used to say it all the time, man. I can step on a volleyball court. People see this, Neuli kid, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
on the volleyball court, boy, but I be spanking on them,
Spanking.
man. Spanking on them, boy. I got the skills, you know what I mean? I got the skills to play ball, but I got the hop from my dad and stuff like that. But no, for real though, I got the best of both worlds. And I think that in my content, when it comes to my content kind of stuff, it makes me very relatable. It makes me a little bit more relatable in the
Yes.
sense that yes, I may be young, I may look young, and I may be fun loving and stuff like that, but I have older virtues and older values. And I'm a 90s kid. I was raised out, we went out, played outside, you know what I mean? And back in the day, like that was just what we did. We didn't, at youth at church, man, we go to all the alcohol stuff, you know what I mean? And I would be like, just a little kid running around, playing around, and that's just what it was. And everybody knew me. They didn't look at me as, the little Black kid or the little, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just Marques, that's my cousin, and then we were going to school and stuff like that. People would be like, yo, is he Black? Or is he Samoan? Which one is he? You know what I'm saying? Like, and even nowadays, like it's so funny because my kids look more Samoan than I do, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like my sons, you know what I mean? I've got 3 boys, right? My sons, they're both, my oldest son is 6'3", 280. My other son is 6'4", 200, you know what I mean? And so like they look more Samoan than I do. My youngest son, my baby boy, poor kid, man. He's like 5'8", 5'7", 150 pounds, you know what I mean? But no, honestly, like I said, going back to it, but it just makes me more relatable. And like I know where like the older Samoans come from. I have that respect factor and stuff like that. But I also know how the younger Samoans feel.
Mm-hmm.
So
Plus, we're
so
in
that's
America. We're in America. I've always said this to my kids and even my wife and friends. Are like, dog,
yeah.
this whole racism stuff, I give it about 10 more, maybe 2 more decades. It's gonna be all mixed kids. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
The mix
Yeah.
is taking over, baby. That's what
Yeah.
it is, Zeus.
And but you know, when we look at it, listen, and when we look at the success, you know what I mean, you see like a lot of Samoans coming up playing football now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, all the quarterbacks, you know.
Who
I
would have
always
thought
knew,
would have had quarterbacks, bro? That was crazy.
bruh,
And
you know what I'm
receivers,
saying?
shout out to Juju. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Miss Schuster, you know what I'm saying? I got you, buddy. You know, like, look, and again, I look up to all these kids, and then, you know, we got a bunch of boxers coming up. We got a bunch of, you know, Olympians, you know, and I think what's going on, you know, and I like it because, you know, you know, like, again, these are kids that are raised by Samoan families. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're raised by Samoan parents. And again, it's in the genes, it's in the pool, and I love it. You know, I love my kids. I have a niece right now. My niece plays volleyball for North Carolina State. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But she's only like 5'2", 5'3". She's a libero, bro. She's good, man. She's good. But it's because of how we were raised and what we raise these kids with, and boom, they go off and do great things. And so shout out to the people in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying.
There you go, bro. So you've shared your fatherhood journey.
Yeah.
How do you prepare your children to face the world that rapidly changes, especially with the impact of social media?
Ooh. I made a mistake thinking that what I did was minimize the impact of social media, right? I was like, man, nah, it's not like that. You know, no, you know, I'm present in my kids' life. You know what I'm saying? Like my older kids, I'm present in their life, you know, like I can let them play on social media and stuff like that. But after, you know, after seeing how social media could lead to depression and could lead to anxiety and stress in these kids, because it's this parasocial behavior where they feel like this is happening to them, as opposed to it's just happening in the world, right? But they want to do something about it, and they feel slighted about it, you know. After my older kids, you know, started, you know, hanging out on social media, and I started to see the negative impact of it, man, because we go head to head on things, right? You know, topics, but it forced me to get smarter about social media and the effects. It forced me to actually dive deep into it, but like, what is social media? You know what I mean? What is this trends? What is this Snapchat? You know, like I still don't have Snapchat, but what is this Snapchat? What is this IG? What is this Facebook? How do we stop or censor what our kids listen to? You know what I mean? Because that's the way the enemy will try to come. The enemy try to, you know, to steal, kill, or destroy, right? Yes. And they do that through the media, you know? So with my younger kids, like after my older kids, with my younger kids, I was like, hey, you got to be 13, at least 13 to get on social media. It sucked for them, but it ended up working. You know what I'm saying? It ended up working. And then the second part is, how do we protect them? I think the biggest thing is that, number one, we have to be active. We have to be active. We can't control everything they see. All right. We can't control everything because they're going to see it. And I think that, you know, again, as we understand what trends are, like these, just an example, my volley coach, girls, my daughter's 13-year-old, right? I coach her volleyball team, and they're like, yeah, hey, Coach Marques, can we play this theme? You know, can we play Fiend? I was like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? I was like, no, you can't play that. I don't know what it is, right? So I go and listen to the song, and I'm like, oh, they want to play it, but then I am sitting there searching for the clean version, right? And so that's where it gets difficult. So I'm torn back and forth. Do I play it? Do I not play it? The next thing is that when it comes to social media, you know, like, you know, I think I probably already said it, but we got to make sure that we know the trends and we know where our kids are at and we know what they're doing. At least have an older brother monitor them. You know what I'm saying? An older brother or sister monitor them, because if not, then our kids are going to go off into like all kinds of stuff, you know? Yeah, it's crazy.
That's a good one, man. I also feel like you just got to, like you said, be involved with the kids, always be present. You know, I find that the kids, when I take the kids out, go do some activities, it lessens their time on social media because, of course, if we're not available for them, we always just gonna let them be on the social media. that's just from experience. So
Yeah, let me jump on that one.
Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, let me piggyback on that one, man. Because here's the deal, man. One of the things is here's one thing I don't do, man. I don't spend a lot of money because, I got a lot of kids, man.
Mm.
I don't spend a lot. I don't spend a lot of money on like gifts. Like I'm not a gift person.
Yeah.
I'm an experience person. And so to piggyback off of what you said is, man, when you get your kids outdoors, when you get them outdoors and you start going like on things that are free, like hiking, like going to the lake or going to, up to the mountain or going to a waterfall that's close by. You start doing that with your kids, man, they're gonna want to do that. And their social media, you'll change their algorithm because they'll post, oh, my dad took me hiking.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a chance to go to this aquarium, and their algorithm will change. Just like their mindset will change. So yeah, that's dope, man. I'm glad you brought that up.
Appreciate it, brother. So you have a background in combat sports like Jiu-Jitsu.
Yes,
How
sir.
do you think learning self-defense and martial arts can benefit today's youth, both the mental side and the physical side?
Let's start with the mental side.
Mm-hmm.
I think combat sports is a necessity. I think that it is a necessity for everybody, especially young ladies, because it, number one, teaches you how to defend yourself. Like my mom, for example, I'm telling you right now, I've been punched a lot in my life. You know what I'm saying? I've been in a lot of fights, but I've yet to meet anybody with as fast hands as my mom has. My mom, I remember one time coming in late from I went out, came in at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Ping, 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 ping. My mom lit me up, man, and put me on the ground. I was like, ooh, okay, I never want to do that again. You know what I'm saying? But in all seriousness, I think that combat sports will help any young lady. So, and with these girls doing jiu-jitsu right now, there's a lot of, little young Samoan girls in my area that are doing jiu-jitsu, and I love it, right? I love it because it builds the intangibles like grit, perseverance, confidence, big one, resiliency is, like how do we bounce back from problems? It regulates their emotional intelligence, their emotional quotient. So I think it's very good for young people to start doing combat arts or combat sports, and it gets control of the anger. Right, it gets control of their anger. And so my youngest, she struggled with anger, you know what I mean? And because she was an iPad kid, and so like she would always want to be on her iPad, and I'm like, baby, no. I was like, let's go out and let's go do some things. She mumbled and groaned about doing jiu-jitsu, but I'm like, no, you're gonna do this, and you don't get to quit this. This is something that you don't get to quit. But the beautiful thing about it, another thing, is that when parents start to see their kids do it, they want to do it too. It's an activity that you as a father can do with your child, and they get to see you fail, and they get to see you be resilient. They get to see you build confidence, lose weight, all that kind of stuff, and it's just a great thing. But the best part right now that trickles into the physical aspect. The physical aspect is that, again, you start monitoring what you eat, because what you eat affects how you perform. Does that make sense?
Heavy.
Yeah. And so then think about it like this. When was the last time, us as 40-year-old, class of 1996, what I'm saying? When was the last time we did sports like that? It was back in high school, yo, you know what I'm saying? Back in high school. So like, how do we get out and be more active? And then the last part is we all think we know how we would protect our family if something happened. We all think, oh yeah,
yes.
I pull out my pew pew. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We'll see. Okay, what about when you're out at a family function or something at a restaurant with your family, and then next some fool comes in and he wants to mouth off to your wife or to your daughter or wants to punk your son. What are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? And this gives you the confidence, like I said, any combat arts gives you the confidence to know how you would actually react in a time like that. So those are the benefits of it right there.
Okay, just to play the devil's advocate. What about
Let's go.
because you got stars like Ronda Rousey and Holly Holmes, who
Yeah.
when they failed, by losing, you heard their stories. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like it kind of like you're talking about disciplinary. It helps them overcome stuff.
Yeah.
But what about folks like that? How does that help them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. So the hard part, so I know a lot of UFC fighters. I'm friends with a lot of UFC. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, Holly Holm, she's an animal in person. When you see that woman in person, like, man, she's all cut up and everything. But the biggest thing is, like, you got to understand, a lot, for us common folk, when I say us common folk, like, those guys are fighting at an elite
True.
level.
I was gonna say it's
We
more pressure than. Mm,
Yeah. Like, my little brother, Demetrius Johnson, you know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
My little brother just retired. He was fighting at the highest level that there could be, right? What else is there? You look at other people, like,
Gotcha.
yeah, you look at, like, for example, Chris Lieben, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, the old school fighter, or Nathan Rock Corey, one of my really good friends, Nathan Rock Corey. Like, they're fighting at an ultimate high level. So what are they going to do now? Are they going to go back and fight at the regional level again? Are they going to go back and do it? So for them, their focus has to become something different. All right. So
Mm,
let's say for all these guys that that play college football, right? They
correct.
play college football. So after they are done with their time, they didn't make it to the NFL. What do? Well,
Yes.
you've been given this gift of muscle, of flexibility, of stamina. Go and apply that to something else. All right. Go and apply, like, and it's so good, bro. I don't know if that answered your question.
No, that answered it, bro. Shout out, man. Just you saying that, man. Shout out to my son, AJ Shade, out there in North Carolina.
Yeah.
He plays for Lenore Ryan, and he went through that struggle too, where football was his life,
Yeah.
and we had that conversation.
Yeah.
And my son was going through it, but right now he's just like, it feels like because he, just to keep it short, he lost, got kicked out the football team for some
Sure.
crazy stuff. But
Yeah.
it helped him, as me and mom can see, like the betterment of his life. Like he's more rejuvenated, he's more positive because he found his lit, But exactly by what you said, everything that he learned helped him get to that place. For
Yeah.
the listeners, so you answered the question for the young ones. What about us, the 40-year-olds? What advice would
Ooh,
you give us? Because it's just not the younger generation. It's not our
no.
children, bro. We,
Yeah.
us two adults, go through this emotional and physical
Yeah.
situation. That's probably why it's
Yeah.
so huge on social media. One of the most popular topics is
Yeah.
mindset and physical weight
Yeah.
loss.
Yeah. Weight loss is huge, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so let's talk about it. Let's talk about number one, health is huge, and I kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier. Like what we put into our bodies, it's what nourishes us, right? And so when
Yes.
we look at it, and like I said, I have to do it like this, man. We got to go. I think for adults in our 40s and stuff like that. I was born in '78, so I mean, my biggest thing is when I look at us as adults, it's all about. It's not about the physical or the mental right off the bat. It's all about the spiritual. So let's talk about the spiritual
Yes.
real quick. You know what I mean? So when the spiritual, like, you got to know where you are coming from. Like, you identify where you're coming from. Like, and for me, what I'm saying, it's my Lord and Savior. That's who created me,
Amen.
and
Mm-hmm.
so He gave me this body for me to do something with it, not to waste away. And unfortunately, for a lot of people in our age, we feel like, or a lot of Samoans, period, a lot of Polynesians, period, we feel like once we hit 30 or we have our first kid, that it's okay to let it go, because we look around the church and everybody else is, looking old, and, oh, what are people going to say if I'm still out here working out, trying to look good? I'm trying to
Yeah.
only look good for my wife or my family. Yes, you should only look good for your significant other, but you should also be healthy for them. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You should also want, like, for me, it's all about longevity. I don't need the big old muscle because I'm not going to go play, professional football, right? What I need to do is I need to find out what healthy is supposed to look like, find out where I'm at, and then let's bridge the gap. Let's bridge the deficit right there. So if I can meet myself in the middle, like for example, if Army stand, when you look at Army standards, is crazy. They're crazy. You know, I've always been overweight since I've been in the military. I was always overweight. And I'm like, this is what I look like, but I'm just dense. I'm heavy, right? And so a 5'9", I'm supposed to be 160 pounds. Well, man, on my fight weight, I'm at 160 pounds, but I walk around 185. And so like with that being said, you know what I mean? Can I get to 170? Does that make sense? So can I find the middle part of that? And that's the first goal. The first goal is to find out where we should be at to be healthy, and then where we're at now, and then find a place in the middle. Because you'll find that if you go to the doctor and you ask, you know, in a lot of these health standards, we're considered like obese.
Yes.
And that's wild. That's wild to me, you know? Yeah, are we going to fit every mold? No, we're not going to fit every mold. But the biggest thing is, number one, find your spiritual, fix your spiritual. Number two, your spiritual will help your mental, right? And you got to see it in your mind first. Okay, I can be healthy, and I want to be healthy for what reasons? To see my son get married, to see my daughter have kids. Those are the things. To see my grandkids grow up so I can be a part of their life. Those are the reasons. So that's your why now. So you fix that mental part, then that will help you fix the physical part.
I got to drop a follow for this one, bro, because that was deep boost. My Uso, man, there you go. He just displayed that motivational speech on the Why Us podcast, yo. Uso, I know you busy, man, because you about to get ready to go to the gym. Is there any updates that you got for the listeners and those that just now met you?
You know what? This has been my kickoff, man. I honestly, I stopped a lot. I stopped social media a lot, you know, and that's the thing. Anything that you're doing, you have the control and you have the power to stop what you're doing or to get more of it. Does that make sense? Yes. And so the main thing, if it's not going to help you, if it's not going to benefit your mental, it's not going to benefit your spiritual, your physical, then stop doing it. You know what I'm saying? You have the power to do that. And so I stopped doing social media for a little while, not because it was negative, just because I wanted to focus. If I'm going to sit here and give balance. If I want to give you guys advice, I got to make sure that I am giving the correct advice. You know what I'm saying? So I became a health and wellness coach. And so I'm getting ready to take the National Board for Health and Wellness to be a integrated health and wellness coach in November. I'm excited about that. Physical wise, American Samoan Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Association is coming. That's gonna be sick, right? It's gonna be awesome. Okay. And so right now they're doing all the legal stuff right now. We're gonna get that built up. There's about 3 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts, my man Deutsch and my man Aaron, and myself, you know, and I'm gonna continue competing. That's all I do is compete because I love it. I'm trying to be a world champion. I'm trying to be the first Samoan world champion out here. But other than that, all I gotta say, y'all, is like, you know, look, love your family. First off, love God, then love your family, and then love yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who we are. You know what I'm saying? That's who we are. And so, yeah, man, that's it, bro.
Damn, thank you so much, bro. There, you heard it, Coconuts, man. First, find your relationship with God. Then the mental health and all that issue else will come sorted out along with your physical work, man. That's powerful right there, bro. I thank you for your time, bro. Yeah, if you're digging and feeling this content, man, I'm gonna be posting all my Uso stuff below the link. The link below. I keep messing that shit up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave that up too. I ain't even gonna edit that part. I would be posting, that one. What I said earlier, man. But also to help keep this podcast going, man. We ain't sponsored by nobody. Would I like to be sponsored by somebody? Hell yeah. But until then, we got merchandise, baby, on our website at www.whyus.com. But until then, man, until next time, y'all, I'm your Us, Why Us.
And I'm Marques.
And we out, baby.
Let's go.
Oh, yes.
Tales of the hustle, dreams come alive. Building the future, watch them strive. Why use?